Can you hear us? Nah, yes or no. Okay, can't hear us. No. Okay, you know what it is. It's your hip hop culture specialist, Rain and Remix in the building.
And we slapping you with another slaptaculous interview.
You right.
Got my man Terry Moore, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna do it like that, you know, I'm gonna get right to it. You know what I mean? Some of this stuff we don't know. So we have to use our better judgment, Google, to find some stuff out. Cause I'm gonna just
all right.
Because when I found out Terry Moore was in the movie Get Me Wrong, my name Remix, I might twist stuff up.
You get it right.
Black Snow.
No.
Snow what's it called?
Snow Black. And my name is Terry Quintero Moore.
I'm going a little bit.
And pronounce it for us. We just didn't want to mess it up.
You know what? I'm not anal about it. As Americans would say, it's Quintero Moore. I'm not anal, but the correct pronunciation is Quintero. But I'm not anal about it.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people skip over that Quintero, so they won't pronounce it wrong. But you know,
right?
I'm not anal.
There's the letter J in there.
Well, in certain like languages, especially like ours, it's not. You don't have the J's, you have the H's, and a lot of people get confused with, you know, like if you're like my middle name is Jaden, so if they say is it Hayden, I'm like no, it's Jay. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you know, but I'm never anal on the correction of it. So
okay, that's a nice name. So it's Terry Quintero Moore, and we are glad to have you here on our show.
Thank you.
This is an exclusive show. You know, we send the links to slappers, to people who are looking up for new things to support the community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, you know, you fit right in, being that you know what I'm saying, up and coming. And first of all, I want to ask you, you know, tell us what it was like to be an antagonist in the movie. Did you enjoy playing the bad guy? Was it out of character or in character?
No, I mean, most of the things that I do is not really out of character, because the reason why I say is because either I've done that or I am that or I know I've been around that, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So,
Snow Black is not really out of the character of what actually is one of the easiest characters I have to play on screen. But I was definitely comfortable with it. I mean, and just everybody around it, because I got the chance to deal with legends. Like I said, I tell people all the time, you know, Ron Van Cleef is a martial arts legend, especially in the black community.
Right.
Mm-hmm. To have a scene with him and to come off the bench for after 30 years of not filming.
Okay.
To me, that was a plus.
Right.
So, you know, to do it with him, and then Gloria Hendry, the first black lady in the James Bond movie. I didn't get a chance to see her. I wish I had, but just to have the experience to be in that movie with her, it was because as I was leaving, she was coming in. So I was like, you know, but you know.
Yeah, I know how it works in the movie industry. How you know,
just being around legends, period, because you gain a lot of knowledge.
Mm-hmm. And they piece the movies together, so sometimes you don't get to see the people you in the film with, but the experience is, you know, just the same. And we seen
exactly.
It is. We like it. You know what I'm saying? The actors did a good job. You know what I mean? So we're definitely looking forward to sharing that with the slappers, getting them the chance to know where to find it. Also, can you tell us what your nationality is?
Well, I'm a bunch of different things. My mother is African and Native American, and my dad is actually half Italian and half Cuban.
Okay, and I was only asking that because of the uniqueness in your name, and that your name tells that. So it's like Jay, you kind of open up doors to school and different things, you know.
I mean, I still identify as black because, you know, at the end of the day, if you push back all the layers, it's still black. It's just a cultural thing.
Right on.
You know what I mean?
Making your TV debut here with this awesome movie. What would your be words of encouragement for upcoming actor, actress, especially the community where we from?
My first thing would say, because you will get your first thing is you're gonna get laughed at, because I'm gonna take a quote from 50 Cent real quick.
Okay.
If I may. Somebody asked him, they said, why don't you and Puffy came from the same basically area? Why do the people hate you more than they hate him? And he said, simply because they don't remember selling drugs with him. They remember selling drugs with me. So basically what he was saying was, if you're in the rut with somebody and you come up, they're not gonna like that, because they figure, well, damn, we was in the same rut. Why didn't I come up like he came up? So with that, I would say, listen, regardless of your friends, and sometimes it's your own family members, regardless of that, you got to keep pushing on what your dream is. Because if your dream is to whatever it is, your dream could be whatever, to be a train conductor, whatever it is.
Right.
Don't let nobody move you off your block from that. And I know a lot of people will, settle for less because it's comfortable at that moment. But no, if your soul and your heart is pricking you to say, yo, I need you to carry this a couple of steps further, then do that. But don't let nobody move you off your square. Rather they be your family member, your friend member, your wife, your husband, whatever. You got to keep focused on what you were designed to do.
All right.
That's real talk.
We come to get all the knowledge we can get from you. Yes, because you're also a personal trainer as well. Do you do that often, or that's just on? Well,
I used to personal train coming up when I was in my earlier years. I just how that started was I started in what was ballets, and then it was at one point LA Fitness kind of like on the East Coast, kind of like bought all the ballets.
Yeah, I remember.
So it's kind of like /Ballet/LA Fitness. And I started off as a sales consultant, selling the products and the membership and all that. And how I got into the training was one day, a couple of females came in. It was like, well, you're more in shape than the trainers that are in here. Like, why are you not training people? I was like, I don't have the certification with the root. So when they kept inquiring about me, they sent me down to South Philadelphia to get the training and the CPR and all that. So I started training people, and what I did was I did something different. I didn't do what typical trainers would do. I would incorporate boxing and martial arts and sometimes wrestling in the training.
Right.
And I tell people, believe it or not, that actually makes you lose a lot of weight. You kick for about, kick about 45 minutes to an hour. Your legs are very heavy. So if you kick about 45 minutes to an hour, trust me, you will start feeling it.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, that's a personal training tip right now.
Seriously, because I was going to ask you I was going to try to get something out of you about weight loss. Like, what do you think is the quickest way to get some weight down? Well, you hit me with it. I like that, because my legs.
I always ask questions too. Like, people ask me, like products, they ask about products, and I said, they're like, what does this product do? And I'd be like, well, whatever you want it to do. But then they get confused, like, what does that mean? Well, I said, well, listen, look, you can take steroids and never work out, but I could be natural and you'll never look like me.
Talk that talk.
You get what I'm saying? It's all about what you're doing, and it's all about genetics as well, and good and just good behavior as far as your diet. So I mean, I'm no health guru. I mean, every now and then on the weekends, I splurge, but at the same time, I know my limit. So people like especially women, and a lot of my clients were women, but I would ask them, like, do you want to lose size or do you want to lose weight? And they're confused about it. Like, size and weight is two different things.
It is.
Because you can be 210 and come down 3 or 4 sizes.
Right.
Or you can lose your weight entirely. So it all depends on if you just want to fit in that dress for that weekend or for that month or whatever, then you're talking about losing. Sometimes they're talking about losing size, and they get the confusion between the two.
Right.
I mean, granted, when you lose weight, you eventually will lose size, but it's not always. It depends on your structure of your body. It's not always you're going to lose weight and you lost size. Because a lot of people are like, well, damn, I lost weight, but how come I'm not in the size 8? You know what I mean? So, it just depends on how hard you want to go.
And tell us about, speaking on women, and it sounds like a lot of like women are important in your life, which is, that's of course. First of all, Remix had a question for you about your family life, but I wanted to ask about Alexandra Hoff and how she got that role, not got the role for you, but was the opportunity opened through knowing her?
Well, no, I never met her. I'm gonna tell you how this went down. They had an audition for the Young and the Restless. Mm-hmm. And I went out there to the Sugar House Casino and I did it. And she just happened to have been standing by because I did the first audition. And she was like, wow, I like how you brought that to life. I like how you did that. All that good stuff. So she was like, would you mind cutting that same scene with me? So I was like, yeah. And she walked off about 10, maybe 15 seconds. I'm not thinking because now the camera guy was like, do you want to tell your friends and your family members that you get ready to be on live? Now, you know how when somebody says something to you, you hear it, but you're not rushing.
You ain't on that. Yeah,
you ain't on it. I'm just like, okay.
You ain't on that. I ain't call nobody.
Yeah,
I feel you.
I didn't think it was going to be live like that. So she came back. She's like, you ready? I'm like, yeah, I'm Kobe Bryant running off the bench, baby.
I made that part. Yeah. Ready.
So when she said, she counted down to 10. Now, wait a minute. Oh, now.
Yeah,
so when she kind of caught me, say what?
Say, nah, I ain't ready. You on the countdown?
Yeah, I'm ready. I had to be ready because I'm like a deer in the headlight. You know what I mean? Hold on. So I'm sorry about that. My light kind of went out on y'all. So I'm sorry about that. Forgive me.
When you famous. You know what I mean? We got some famous Philadelphia.
I was kind of like, I was like a deer caught in the headlight. But the thing is that through my life, for what I've been through and all things I experienced, it's not too much you can really do because it's going to catch me off guard. And if you catch me off guard, I might stagger, but you're not going to knock, you know what I mean?
You ain't gonna know.
Yeah, you ain't going to know. So a lot of people thought I knew. I was like, nah, I didn't know that was live. And I'm having my phone jumping the whole time I'm doing it because people like, yo, I'm seeing you, bro. I'm seeing you. I'm like, my phone in my pocket just jumping. But I had to ignore all of that to do, get through what I got through.
Yeah.
Wow. I like that.
You know, after reading your bio, like everybody should do, you know what I mean? They say you a lot of things, man. You're a model, you're an actor, you're a martial arts instructor. In the movie, you play the antagonist. You know, for those, when I heard you play the antagonist, I had to look it up. Oh, that's just the villain, everybody. You know what I mean? Like, this just the slick name for the bad guy. But I'm like, dang, he got a lot of hats on, man. He got a family? That's all I can think about. Like, wow, like, this is a successful black man. Like, who is in his circle? Like, for real, like, that's different to me.
I mean, to answer the questions, you know, we all got hurdles. We all got things that we're not proud of in life. I mean, I've seen a lot of things coming up, and even now, as almost 40 years old, I still see a lot of things. But you know, it's kind of like when somebody give me a script. Let's say you give me a script to a movie, right? First thing I ask you is, do you want me to be the character or own the character? It's two different things. It's two different. There's two different meanings behind that. And the meaning is that I can be the character and make it believable and get the ball over the fence. Where people are like, you know, he did good. Owning the character. That means you embody the spirit and everything that's with it.
Yeah.
But with that is a fault because sometimes, especially a lot of method actors, you can't break out of that.
It'd be too much.
It'd be too much sometimes. The craziest thing I ever had to play was a stage play I was on maybe 2-3 years ago. I had to play a psycho boyfriend that had multiple split personalities.
Okay.
So 1 minute he's in and out. He's named 1 minute I'm Devin, and the next minute I'm Darren. So for me to go to that dark side, I've seen people do that, but I never experienced that. So for me to go to the dark side, I actually had to sit down and watch The Dark Knight. And I watched The Dark Knight and I watched how the Joker did his thing. Now, granted, I wasn't as tense as the Joker because it was a stage play and it really didn't want the script called for me to be violent and vile, but we had to take some parts out due to, you know, but I still did what I had to do. And not to mention, when they gave me that part, somebody else had already had it, but he couldn't make it. So I had maybe about 2 or 3 months to get that part seasoned.
Wow.
Okay.
So a lot of times when they say art mimics life, it does, because you asked us, and you know for a fact our community, if you talk about, can you play a pimp, or can you play a woman abuser, or a hooker, or something like that, a lot of times we came across that. So you seen it, and you kind of like, I can tap into that energy. So it's not really hard for me to do, and it's not hard for me to turn off, because I know once I leave, I'm leaving this character here.
Right.
So
what are your future goals then? Is acting the main direction, or are you still just keeping it well-rounded?
Acting is my main direction now, and as I get older in the years, once I get a little bit more seasoned in the game, I do want to help people to sharpen their craft, because I have a talent, and everybody has a talent, but to sharpen their craft is a different animal within its own. It's just like what I took. Matter of fact, prime example, we was talking about how Deontay Wilder lost in his boxing match. He's got the talent to knock anybody the heck out. But when your craft is not
sharpened,
it's not as well as the next guy you're dealing with, and your knockout power is either A, not working, or you just missing what you're supposed to be hitting, then you have a problem. So you could be blessed with the talent, with the craft, and the sharpening of the skills always going to be there. And then not just with acting, I just try to help a lot of people, especially, kids, like, listen, you don't have to go this route with the things I've done a lot of crazy things. You don't have to go this route the way you're going, because times is getting worse, and if your friends are laughing at you because you want to be a painter, I don't care if you want to be a painter, dog, just go ahead and do you.
Go ahead and paint.
And it's hard to do that in our young community. It is hard to be individual.
I mean, you think about it, growing up, if a guy was a painter, they could laugh at him, oh, he's a wimp, he's a sissy. Like, nah, this is how he expressed what he deals with.
I think it took us to become older to really accept that, because the younger, they don't catch that, man. They don't.
I mean, a lot of things gonna come with maturity. I mean, I say this. One old head told me this, was a Muslim guy. He told me, he said, when I first moved up to Philadelphia, he told me, he said, every day I would come back into his office. He said, what did you learn today? I was like 22. Why you keep asking me that? What did you learn today? And this was, I was catching the bus around the area. And I'm like, bro, finally I came to the point, I was like, bro, why you keep asking me that? I ain't learned nothing new. He said, yo, you didn't, right? He said, well, let me ask you this. You're not from here, right? I'm like, nah. He said, did you know, before you got here, did you know how to catch the bus around that corner there? I'm like, no. He said, so you learned something new. He said, stop looking for the big things. Stop looking at the picture instead of looking in the picture. Since then, I ran with it.
That's a good message.
So, yeah, so that's what kind of made me like, okay.
So you're saying you want to definitely teach the skills. You want to help harness other people's talents.
Yeah, your talents and just sharpen whatever you got, and just always tell them your current situation don't have to always be. A lot of us live in the moment, and we don't look past the moment. So your current, and even I every now and then get disencouraged, but I just want to teach them, like, listen, hey, go past the moment. Like me and one of my homies, he have a program now where he's helping young boys. I haven't been there in a while, but I'm gonna start going back once you start opening up, because COVID kind of like shutting everything down and all that. Right. So we was helping them young boys, especially young boys in our community, to tie a tie, how to present themselves in a job interview, just simple basic skills out here to move, to know how to move out here.
They need that.
Right, because
I mean, a lot of them, don't know how to tie a tie. A lot of them, hell, I didn't know how to tie a tie until I was 25. So shit,
right.
You know what I mean? But
I
knew how to dress. I just didn't know how to tie a tie.
When you talk to little boys, you notice how. Sorry to interrupt. You notice how they look down when they're talking
Yeah.
Boys, when you talking to and addressing them, they won't look eye to eye. Did you notice that a lot in them?
I notice a lot. You notice a lot because a lot of it's either shame of guilt or they just don't know how to handle the confrontation.
Right.
You know, that's ahead. And it's not really too much of their fault. They just don't know how to move out here. You know what I mean? It'd be like me telling you, I want you to be my soldier in this war we got coming up. You don't know how to move out here. I don't expect you to do too much other than get your head knocked off. So, you know, and if you come out of that alive, you're lucky or blessed.
Right.
So we just teach them how to tie simple things, what to say, how to move, special, you know, in certain interviews. Right. You know what I mean? Because I kept it 100 with them. I was like, now everybody's not going to be a celebrity. Everybody's not going to make $100 million. Everybody's not going to be whatever. So you have to find what is befitting, fitting for you. So.
Okay, what's your inspiration? Your daily inspiration? Is it music?
My kids is my inspiration because it sounds corny, maybe cavalier, whatever. But my kids is because it's a lot of times I wanted to throw it in town. Like, listen, this right here is not, you know what I mean, for me. But then sometimes you're like, man, you got kids, and I came this far, especially with my career. And shout out to Miss Yolanda Mack because it was a couple of times I'm like, man, I just want to throw the towel in because when you see certain things don't go your way, you kind of like, you want to be like a kid and I want to knock all the pieces off the board. When you're not winning, or you want to hit the reset button. And I tell you, there's no reset button in life. You can't knock all the pieces off the board because you're not winning. You got to find a way to move out here and win.
Right.
And that's why I tell my kids. So that's what keeps me going.
I knew it was motivation behind that. That's why I asked if you had a family. I ain't mean to get so in depth. But that's the fuel behind the fire. We ain't just speaking to an actor. We speaking with a father.
Right.
Amongst this community where we live, you know, you wail in Philly. We wail in Atlanta. It ain't too much different from the borough where you at to the borough where I'm at. Even to my hometown in Ohio. It ain't too much different. We had to overcome the adversities, bruh. Look at you. Yeah. You in the movie, bruh. Black man in the movie. From the hood. Yeah. Man, quick, bruh.
Yeah. And then, I get calls a day from my mom. And my mom, so-and-so went back to jail. So-and-so got killed. I'm like, damn, how we 35 and 40 and years old and still caught up on the same goofy stuff. So a lot of times when I go back home to Maryland, because I'm originally from Maryland, I just ride by and I'm like, it's just like, I can't believe where I came from. Because back when I was going, we didn't even have social media. So whether you sing, rap, act, whatever, you didn't have YouTube.
Nobody know.
You had no YouTube. Mm-mm. You had to stand in front of them people there and whatever you had to say.
Them 20 people right there and do your bars or do your skit or do your comedy. You know what I'm saying? That's
and that determined whether you was going left or right with it.
Right. Here they got.
And even so, then I still wouldn't say give up. You just them 20 people just wasn't feeling you at that time.
Okay, you need 20 other people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. I wanted to say for those who want to be actors and actresses or models or whatever, just because you'll go on a project for an audition, and just because I even heard top A-listers said I've been turned down 600 times. I'm like, damn. And at 600 times, you would think I'm gonna go ahead and quit. Right. But no, it's sometimes they may not just be feeling you. I've been in a couple of joints where I did the piece so good, they're like, damn. But you don't fit the physical attribute. I'm like, what? It was like, yeah, we need somebody 5'6" and that's overweight. Fit none of those attributes. Or we need somebody 6'6" that's a ball block. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes your physical attributes kind of like, now if they really want you, they will kind of condition it where you can be in it. I've been in projects where I fit none of the attributes, but I played the part so well, they went back to the lab and wrote me in the movie.
Right.
Here, take this part here because we want you in the movie or the stage play.
Okay.
Sounds good. And so you also have done some celebrity boxing and Remixing Now. We host a lot of boxing events in Atlanta, and we heard you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Tell us about.
Hold on, wait. When the last time you had a celebrity boxing match? Let's go there first.
This was the last time, maybe 2019.
Oh, that wasn't that long.
I had a lot of people that wanted to come out and act like they wanted to box, but then when it got down to the as they say, the nitty gritty of it, they changed their mind. So, you know,
okay.
I mean,
I ain't gonna say
my last match was about 2019.
I ain't gonna say I put it together, but would you fight next if you could fight someone from?
I mean, if the money is right, and first of all, I don't want to say I'm just doing it for the money, but as my man Floyd say, health is wealth.
Health is wealth.
So if I slide in the ring, it's gonna be for some nice piece of change. But I don't really have nobody in mind targeting per se, but whoever wanted to run the fade, we run the fade.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm gonna talk to some folks. To some folks.
You know what I mean? Whoever want to do it, and especially if the dollar signs is right, because and not just on my end, on my opponent's end, because when people don't realize when you get in there, you rather your exhibition or whatever it is, MMA, whatever, you putting your health on the line.
Right.
And be honest with you, sometimes the training kick your ass more so than the damn boxing match.
Yes, it does.
Right.
So, you know, and you know, a lot of guys, you know, you can say you're ready and you might have trained for that for months or whatever, but when you actually get on the game day, sometimes your mental might not be there.
Man, how tall is you?
I've been in a couple matches. Say what?
How tall is you?
5'10".
Okay. All right. I'm gonna be looking.
Yeah. Well, it's really weight. It's not high.
No, I ain't on that. He's a celebrity. We ain't on that. He in shape. So what do he weigh? About 215? He 5'10".
Me, I usually my fight weight like 197, but if I'm just chilling, I'll probably walk around. If I'm chilling, like now I've been chilling. I work every now and then. I walk around, which a lot of people don't believe me because they think I'm still 190 something, but I walk around maybe like 205, 210.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And that's a lot of people still don't believe that. I'm like, I am 210. They're like, no, dog, you like 190. I'm like, no,
I ain't his manager or nothing, y'all, but you hearing me out there. Celebrity boxer. Right. Anybody want to step in the ring with my homeboy Terry Moore?
All them promoters out there.
Where y'all at?
Boxing,
who want to fight? 5'10",
right. We know
196, you know what I mean? Right in that round. Don't tell him your reach.
No, I ain't gonna tell him. Listen, I've been in matches, man, where you get a guy where you kind of like, I ain't gonna say underestimate, but you kind of like, I got this one, and he hit you with some shit. You like, hey, wait a minute. Let me reevaluate. Yeah, he's like, yo, I been hit with a couple of goals, but I've been like, yo, check boy glove real quick. But I mean, listen, I'm undefeated. Undefeated, 7-0.
Yes.
You thought about going pro, bro? That's a nice go amateur.
I mean, I thought about it. I mean, but then I look at it too, because even if you win, being that up in age, that healing factor ain't always, you know what I mean? The healing factor ain't always there.
It's kind of smart. That's like going to NFL at 40.
So what you
exactly? I mean, like I said, I ain't gonna run from it.
Right.
If the money on the table, we definitely gonna do it, but I ain't gonna run from it.
What you think about the boxing events with Evander Holyfield, them bringing in the older guys to get pounded on? You enjoy that kind of
Holyfield? I love him death, but he kind of disappointed me because he originally wanted Mike.
Yeah,
right.
And I'm like, okay. Me personally, even when they first fought way back in the day,
right?
He even said himself, like if Mike was in his right state of mind, I don't even think that would have went the way it went.
Yeah, I don't think so.
My personal opinion, but you know, he said it himself. He's like, that's not the Mike I wanted to fight.
Right, Mike was gone.
By the time he got to that Mike was kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Evander Holyfield. I felt bad when the young MMA fighter knocked him out, knocked him down. I ain't gonna say knocked him out because he was still able to get up on his own. But I mean, you got a guy that's almost 60 years old. So I mean, what did you really expect?
Right. So I don't know. But boxing is trying to make some comeback. Just it's more entertaining than anything. And
it's more like WWE. So to speak.
Okay.
So
I mean, whoever sanctions some of these matches is like, you kind of like scratch your head on it, like really, but I get it. Everybody want to make $1. Everybody think they can fight. So, to me, I think it's a good way to, if you got a problem with somebody, and listen, let's go down in the A, set this match up, get this money, and we can resolve our issues in the ring.
Yeah.
I can beat you up while you beat me up, and we get paid for it.
Right. And so we enjoy working in the boxing industry.
Yeah,
I like the poor man's sport. I like how they come together and make money. It is an awesome thing to be a part of. My brother is a matchmaker. His name is Baby Don. And we're going to make sure he know about what you're doing and see if we can get you something going real soon,
because Philly Fame was supposed to be like the celebrity boxing that was in Jersey. Mm-hmm. And one of the guys that I was fighting under or for, right, he was like my manager. Things kind of went left. You kind of had people that was jealous about it. And then things went left. So I was kind of the face of the celebrity boxing, Philly Fame celebrity boxing of Philly, the light heavyweight champion. And I was the face of it. And like I said, you get people that got mad because if they feel like, it's a potential chance that you could outdo whatever's currently going on, they're going to try to pull the plug on you.
Right.
So that's why they kind of went the way that went,
It was a very pleasure to have you here on In Your Lap, Terry J. Quintero Moore.
Thank you.
For those that don't know, my man was in Creed. You go do your homework, watch good movies. You did what I'm saying? Find the movie. I'm messing up again, but I'm going to do it right. It's called Black Snow. Find that. Watch it. I am a crazy, bro. My name Remix.
His name Remix. So we going to say it backwards.
Sometimes it might be a remix, baby. Hey, listen.
Hey, I do it. It'd be hard. Dyslexia, stuff be backwards.
Reference. There's nothing wrong with reference. Snow.
It say Snow Black, but when you ain't looking at it, it say Black Snow. That's your next move.
Hey, listen.
By Remix.
I'm gonna do it. If you know somebody or you all yourself come up with it, I'll do it.
Screenplay writer. You say next to the copy editor.
Say that. Right. We're going to hold you to that.
That means somebody got to get in the lab and get the writing.
Right.
Say no more.
Okay. And so we from the radio world, so give you a shout out.
I just want to give, like I said, a shout out to, Yolanda Mack, especially Robert Parham, that was part of the, matter of fact, that's his creation. He wrote, produced it, of Snow Black. Okay. Just a shout out to all, because I'll be here all day. Just a shout out to all those who supported me in and out the industry, family, friends, fans, just everybody. And once they see this, they know who I'm talking about. Right. And because the reason why I don't do names sometimes, because you might have 100,000 people you name, you be here all day, but then you might miss one, and that one be like, well, you know what I mean? So, all those who support me, even y'all that allow me on this radio show.
Right. Well, we appreciate that. Yes, and before we really do close out, real quick, tell us the storyline of the movie Snow Black. Because I know that the female is avenging. Tell them about it, real quick.
Yeah, well, she suffers from if I can, when you come home from the war, post-traumatic stress, and well, initially she comes home, and home is not basically what she left it as. So you got the drug dealers, the gang members, they're doing all they can do to ruin this city, and she kind of. Probably she knows about it, but she's not really in tune with it until it starts affecting with her family. And one of the drug dealers, they made her sister take drugs, and she overdosed or died from it. And that's when she became this vigilante. I'm going out here, I'm seeing what the problem is. I'm taking anybody out. So the gist of the movie is which Ron Van Cleef, the black dragon, the legend, plays her father. And so basically what it is, she's not only avenging, the death of her sister, but basically trying to clean up the community.
Yeah. Right. We appreciate it.
Because again, like I said, when she left to go in the service, it wasn't like, what it was when she came back. And I play a bad guy named Swag. I'm second in command of the Bloodborns. So I play the bad guy Swag. And actually me and Ryan Van Cleef have a fighting scene in that
Right. It's some action
that was
in there.
I saw that.
Action fighting.
Yeah. We mixed it up a little bit. That was fun.
Okay.
Any social media handles for following?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to reach me out on Instagram, it is actor Terry J. Quintero Moore. Facebook, Terry J. Quintero Moore. My Terry J. Quintero Moore. I make it easy on people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And those who get confused about spelling Quintero, it is Quintero.
Right.
Just like it sounds.
Just like it sounds. For real, like it says.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Have a blessed evening. Take care. And we're looking forward to talking with you again real soon.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Y'all do the same. Stay blessed. Stay safe.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace.
All right. Bye.